In 1958, a car was born that would change everything. Its name was the Aston Martin DB4. While other manufacturers played it safe, Aston Martin dared to build something the world had never seen. One look at the Aston Martin DB4 and you understood. This was not just a car. This was a statement. Sit inside a Aston Martin DB4 and the outside world disappears. Only the road matters. A 3.7L straight-six engine, 240 horsepower, and a body that made grown men stop and stare. The car that established Aston Martin as the world's most elegant brand. This is the story of the Aston Martin DB4, one of the greatest automobiles ever built. Welcome to the world of the Aston Martin DB4, a world where every detail tells a story. The story begins in England, where Aston Martin had a dream that others called impossible. The engineers who designed the Aston Martin DB4 were obsessed with one thing: perfection. The Aston Martin DB4 was not designed by committee. It was designed by people who loved driving. Under the skin, the Aston Martin DB4 was revolutionary. The 3.7L straight-six engine changed everything. When the Aston Martin DB4 debuted at the motor show, the crowd fell silent. Then they erupted. The first production Aston Martin DB4s rolled off the line in 1958, each one built by hand. Journalists who drove the Aston Martin DB4 for the first time wrote the same thing: this car is alive. The Aston Martin factory worked around the clock. The world was waiting for the Aston Martin DB4. Every curve of the Aston Martin DB4 was calculated, not guessed. The result was automotive poetry. On the road, the Aston Martin DB4 was untouchable. Nothing at this price could keep up. The Aston Martin DB4 attracted the world's most discerning drivers. They knew what they were looking at. Racing drivers tested the Aston Martin DB4 and reported back, "This is a weapon disguised as a road car." The Aston Martin DB4 competed against the Ferrari 250 GT. The rivalry defined an era. Hollywood discovered the Aston Martin DB4. Film stars lined up. The waiting list stretched for years. Motoring journalists called the Aston Martin DB4 a benchmark. Car and driver said it set the standard. The Aston Martin DB4 appeared in films, on television, in fashion shoots. It became a cultural symbol. At Le Mans, the Aston Martin DB4 proved itself in competition. The results were extraordinary. The foundation of Aston Martin's GT racing dynasty. A moment that defined the Aston Martin DB4's legend forever. Buyers waited months, sometimes years. The Aston Martin factory could not build Aston Martin DB4s fast enough. In silver birch or Goodwood green, the Aston Martin DB4 was magnificent. Every color suited this body perfectly. The Connolly leather interior, the analog instruments, the perfect driving position. Under the hood, a 3.7L straight-six producing 240 horsepower. In 1958, that number was extraordinary. The engineers at Aston Martin chose every component with care. Nothing was there by accident. The Aston Martin DB4 weighed just 1,225 kilograms. Light, agile, and alive in a way heavier cars never are. Top speed, 141 miles per hour. In 1958, only a handful of cars on Earth could match that. The aluminum body was hand-formed by craftsmen who had spent decades learning their art. When production ended, the world mourned. There would never be another Aston Martin DB4 like this. The Aston Martin DB4 became the car every serious collector wanted. Prices started climbing immediately. In the 1980s, collectors rediscovered the Aston Martin DB4. Values climbed and never stopped. At auction, a perfect Aston Martin DB4 in original condition commands over $500,000. And climbing. The Aston Martin Museum in Newport Pagnell displays the complete Aston Martin DB4 lineage. Every model, every story. At Pebble Beach, a Aston Martin DB4 on the lawn stops time. People stand in silence, just looking. The serious collectors keep them original. Matching numbers, original paint, uncompromised. Only 1,110 Aston Martin DB4s were ever built. Each surviving example is a piece of history. Today, the Aston Martin DB4 is recognized as one of the great automotive achievements of the 1950s. Somewhere right now, a Aston Martin DB4 is being driven. Not displayed, not preserved, driven. The Aston Martin DB4. Born in 1958. Still the benchmark. Still the dream. Still alive.